Welcome to your Cognito guide on how to add a feature code. Feature codes can be found in the left-hand menu under Features and then Feature Codes. Feature codes work similar to numbers. You can use feature codes to create simple routes to destinations. A simple example of this may be creating a feature code, for example, 200, and pointing this to the sales hunt group. If a call is received and needs to be transferred back to the sales hunt group, it can now be done by simply calling the feature code. Feature codes can also be used to enable features such as DND on *78 or DND off *79. There are a number of default feature codes that are fixed within the system. However, some of these can be overridden by entering new feature codes within the customer's system setup. Click New on the right-hand side of the screen and you will see the following options. Feature code. This will be the number you will dial to perform the functionality the feature code is creating. For example, 205. Description. If you need to have some more information about the feature code, you can enter it here, but it isn't needed. Owner. If an owner is added here, then a user that owns the number can administer it as well as the system administrator. Screen calls. If this is enabled, it will play the CLI of the number calling you and a message if you set the call screening message below. The destination will need to press 1 to accept the call. This is great if the number is going off network to a mobile, for example. This would give the receiving party more information about the call before they answer. Allow callers to enter this feature code in attendant and IVRs. You can choose yes or no. If set to yes, then anyone that calls in via an IVR can dial this number to be routed to the feature or destination it goes to. You may allow going to a hunt group or a queue, but it is not recommended that you have this option on for feature codes like DND or call waiting. Caller name. This option allows for a name to be shown on the screen of the handset receiving the calls. A good example of this would be to use a feature code after someone chooses an option in an IVR. You could create one that forces the caller name to be accounts and another to force the name to be service. If the call is delivered to the same hunt group, the person receiving the call will know it is an accounts call or a service call. Caller name modifies existing name. By default, this is set to replace the name that may have been there before, so if the number had a force caller name set like web sales and then it went to a feature code, this would replace the name with the two examples above. You could, if you wish, set it to prepend or append and it will display both names. Keep in mind the size of a handset screen. Force hang up after minutes. This will hang the call up after a number of minutes if set. By default it is set to no limit. Record group. If you have already added a record group to the system, then this option will appear. You can select what record group you would like to add it to. Music on hold. If a call is placed on hold that has passed through the feature code, depending on the route of the call, the chosen music on hold could be played. There are plenty of default music to choose from, plus you can upload your own in the Features Advanced section under Music on Hold. PIN. When you dial the feature code, you will be asked to enter this PIN number. Great if you only wanted particular users to have access to the feature code. PIN repeat. This is just to confirm the number above in the PIN matches and has been entered correctly. Show in reception console. This will allow the queue to be seen in the reception console that is under the option at the top of the system's menu. Default destination. This is the destination of the call when you dial the feature code. This would normally be something like a hunt group or a feature you wish to enable. Temporary override. The temporary override can be enabled to change the routing without affecting the default destination above. The default for this setting is default destination, overridden by caller and time routes. You also have default destination, ignore caller and time routes, and lastly, a specific number which opens a new box below for you to enter this number. Once you have configured the settings you require, press Save. Return to the list of feature codes and you will see the new feature code you have just created.